Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to your daily lighting critique. We have a couple animations to talk about. We've also got stills announcement for today. So, in part of my, other than doing a lot of dental work, which I talked about just before we started recording, I'm going to be doing a little bit more traveling. So next week, I'm going to see my wife's side of the family to introduce our daughter to them. Just talked to Francesco. He's going to come back for another couple weeks and do his amazing paint overs for you guys again. We're going to work out some. We got some feedback on how it went with him the first time around. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and mute here. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Sorry, I can't talk when I hear my own echo. It's weird. Anyway, So Francesco's going to come. He's going to be critiquing starting a week from today for a couple weeks, and he's going to be providing, like, if you guys didn't see him, scroll up through the lighting critique channel. He's made some incredible paint overs for people, beautiful stuff. So the project's really made a lot of progress the last time. We're also talking to other artists around the industry and kind of getting together a pool of industry professionals who can come in every once in a while and do some critiquing, because I really do think that you all benefit from having a variety of opinions or more robust feedback than just from me. Because I'll work my butts off for you guys, but I only provide like one vantage point, so getting multiple vantage points on it is good. Okay, so Antonio, this looks amazing out of the gate. Like, first impression of it, I was like, I literally said, ooh, I was like, ooh, this looks really nice. A couple things I would love to see. Number one is I'm looking. Oh, let's take a look at the reference too, just so we all have the same vantage point here. So lovely volumetric light coming through the windows. Creating a bit of a haze on the background to allow the characters to pop forward. Really great reference here. And you have a variety to choose from. Like, here's a super low contrast, bluish, cool color palette versus, Manchester by the Sea, and whatever this mouse animation is. I'm not sure what that's from. But like lots of different color palettes you can pull from. But that overall look is really nice. For me, the two biggest areas that I think you can improve upon, number one is that, like, I keep getting pulled into his back collar here. Like, that area is very bright, and I think we can actually work on toning that down a little bit. And I do think that you can actually push the key on his face a little bit stronger, like a nudge, like a half stop more. The other thing I was thinking was, and I know in the reference we see some, like, the haze back here feels pretty neutral in tone, and it's got a little bit of color in some of the color corrected ones. I think that part of the beauty of stained glass is when light passes through, the light gets altered by it, right? So the fact that you've got these beautiful light rays back here are great, but I think it would be really cool if you added some color to them. Like, in this area there'd be a little bit, let me move another frame. Through this area there'd be like a little bit more red, a little more green in here, a little like, and you can see it in some of this reference that like this one, it's kind of creating an overall kind of pinkish color, but I think like having some color in the light. Now, you can, like I said, you can do it as, like, the light rays are passing through and they're bringing with it the local color. You can create a larger color palette. Also, I like seeing a little bit of light on the wall. I don't know if there's an opportunity to do that here. Like, I don't know how far this wall is away, but it would be kind of cool to see a little bit of this light on that wall over there, if possible. If not, don't worry about it. Does anybody else have any thoughts on this?
I was thinking towards the middle end, right there, there's parts where his screen left side gets lit up on his head, and I don't think it helps. All the references are, all the lights are on one side of his face, and then when
like that. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
And also the question is where it's coming from, because The light directions come from the other side, and then...
I think if I had to guess, and Antonio, you can chime in and prove me wrong if you want, but it feels like you probably have two lights on him, like one that's providing this main area, and then another that would provide like this little bit of rim, and then as he's moving, like it was probably positioned like there, and then as he's moving around, it kind of gives away, because like in order to hit his head here, it would have to almost be coming in from like back behind it, like that angle. Yeah, and then the other thing that you could possibly do is, and depending on how much you want to lighten this fill value, because it's looking pretty nice as is just like a little bit of bounce, like something up underneath here, just to create a little more variation in that fill side. But and then just some dumb stuff as they pop up. Just like watch out for like little bits like that creeping out of the back part of the eye. But like some small detail stuff that looks really great. Like look at the specular highlight in the fingernail. Like that's silly. And it really does look like there's fuzz on his pants. If you wanted to create a little separation between his shirts, maybe make it like a darker undershirt or something. Maybe something that matches his suspender color. But yeah, this is really great. Yeah. All right, cool stuff. All right. Now we've got Kat with this is just a play blast of the animation. So just a couple things to talk about. It's a fun little scene. So a couple things that popped up as I was looking through this. One of them is that it like with motion blur, that background's going to be pretty motion-y throughout. So that'll hide some stuff, but you have to be really, really cognizant of the fact that the opening and the end are static. Like that's static for a second, so we have to make sure that looks pretty good, and the beginning looks good too because we stop there at the end. And the only reason why I say that is when you have like a camera that's kind of panning back and forth, obviously you want to make things look as good as they can, but it's really beneficial to like focus in on the like couple of areas that you really, really want to hit. And for me, it would be the head and tails of this shot. The one, and when I say like what are we looking to improve upon, one is that we just kind of see the edge of the world out here. We see a floating tree. There's some issues out there that we want to plug up. Like you'll probably want to put some sort of a matte painting in there, or just something in the background so it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel an edge of the world type of thing. In terms of the lighting, I think it's like I'm assuming this is like daytime, and then it goes into some kind of like dance club, like flashy light thing. And then back out of it. Is that true? You there? Oh. I'm going to assume that's true, unless Kat, you chime in otherwise. So I think the key to having a shot like this that goes in the couple different lighting styles is that this outdoor one, the initial one, is just like very straightforward. It's very just like regular middle of the day or afternoon, evening, morning, whatever. But like there's just there wouldn't be a lot of stuff to focus on, because here we want you want it to contrast with the more fun lighting. And then it'll be tricky with the ground being that simple. Like it'll like you'll have to do some things with the light to make sure it doesn't look too flat. Like put in some gobos or like some cloud patterns or something on there to help that out. All right, let's take a look at some stills now. So we were just talking to Kat, so let's go through. She's got a couple other projects here. We'll talk through these while we're at it. We got this one and the robot one. So for the robot one, I like the light over dark in the background. The darkness in the background and the light of the characters coming through. I'm wondering if we can't get more directionality out of this light. If we can't move it more, to the screen right side. There we go. Move it more to the screen right side, which would allow us to get more shaping on her, or perhaps move it back into space a little bit. It's just hitting her a little flatly, and I'd like for it to create a little more shaping on her. with some of this stuff in the foreground, it would be cool if we could pick up some more of the specular highlights in the metal components. And let's see. And same thing with like.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now my mic's working. It was being weird. For the animation, the whole idea was as he's going up the ramp, I wanted it to be like he's imagining he's famous, so all the lights and stuff would be flashing. You know, just kind of that vibe. So that's why I did it that way. So I was wondering how to maybe mimic camera flashes, and if maybe I should do the colored spotlights a bit different, or because I want to kind of have it be like an imaginary lighting scenario. Like he's like, yeah, I'm amazing, and then it goes back and he hits the rock and it's back to normal daylight.
Got it. So it's like a paparazzi flashbulb thing.
Kind of, or paparazzi thing, or kind of like, you know, he's in the victory circle or something like that.
Got it. Okay. I mean, for that, because it would be dark, you wouldn't actually need to see them. It's more about pops of light, and then just checking reference to get that speed. Like, because there's a burst and then there's a fall off to it that's very specific that I can't tell you what it is. But I think you'd have to. I would download a video from YouTube or something of paparazzi and just watch, and like frame by frame through it so you can see how. Because like, does the flash just come on in one frame, or is it like 2 frames? And then when it dissipates, is it dissipate? Like how many frames does it take to dissipate? And then you would just, and then also pay attention to how you can tell that they're different cameras. Right, like because I know in my head from seeing a political speech and lots of flashbulbs or a sporting event or a red carpet thing, that I know that the flashes are different, but I don't know. There's like, is it the size, is it the color, is it the speed, is it the like what is signaling to me that there are different cameras there?
I was thinking of putting different lights in different locations. So, like, you would see it kind of coming from different angles. So maybe if I use spotlights. Yeah, I mean, like, what I did on one was basically I just did a point light and put a sphere in it so it would have a little white flash on the screen. Yeah. Because, you know, sometimes you can see the flash bulbs, but I don't know if I want to. For sure. Yeah, I mean, but this is a great time to use reference because again, like, yes, there will be multiple cameras. Yes, there will what like. Knowing that they're coming from different positions, we know that. But like, what about them? Like, turn off your brain and turn on your eyes to make sure that you really like read it and say like, this is the reason why it looks different. Like, again, is it is it just the position? Is it the color of the flash? Like, what is triggering you? Okay, and do you think I should keep with the concept of like having the daylight fade away and then have it be like a spotlight on him and then different colored lights just to kind of give it more of that victory lap thing? I think it should like pop. Or it's like he's imagining it. Or... Yeah, I think it should like pop on and off. Like it should be pretty quick. Like it should be like I did one for I could probably dig it up. I did one for the Peanuts movie where like Charlie Brown is running through like multiple scenes and then he stops in a spotlight and dances. And it was like, it worked out well because it was like, we tried some different iterations of it and it worked out well because it was like on one frame, it like pops on and then it pops off and he's back to running. I'll send it over to you. I'll post it to the critique channel once I find it. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Sorry, my mic was messed up, so I just wanted to catch up. No worries at all. Okay, so we got, so I like the darkness. I want to get some more specular highlights in here, more shaping on her. And then I think I would take down her. It's one of two things has to happen. Her fill is very strong for there being no fill on the environment. And I get it's localized to her, but I think it would like fade off a little more than that. So your options here would either be to decrease the amount of filler in her or throw in a little bit in the environment closest to them, like a little bit on the ground and up over here. Just something to kind of do that. For the other shots, did anybody else notice, back to the robot one, the new Olympic, her arms seem really weird, like they're really long and stretchy, or is it just me? Especially when she's doing the kickback, like her arms and her hands seem really disproportionate. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but I just wanted to... I haven't looked through it because I've been... post it
in the lighting chat and see if anyone else is having that too. Because I doubt
Okay.
that's just you.
I just wanted-
I seriously doubt it's just you on that one, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so for this one, I was looking at. Have we talked about? Is there subsurface on their skin? Like, is there subsurface
Yep.
shader for them? Okay, it's really odd that like it goes.
Yeah, I
from,
have.
Like looking at this, it's really odd that it goes from like brightly lit to like there's like a hard line into
To
like
dark.
a dark shadow. I'm surprised there's not more
Okay.
of a variation in there, but and then
I'll mess with it.
yeah, mess with it and like yeah, and then up the specularity on their skin too, because I'm not seeing really any times that we're getting like the specular highlights on their skin. It's still feeling pretty clay to me, and I just want
Pretty
that
flat.
yeah.
Okay. Are the colors better? Does she look less green to you, and he's a little less red?
Yeah, I mean here he still looks a little he
Okay.
still looks red there, like he looks a little sunburnt there, but I think her greens are better. Yeah. Yeah, and then for this one,
I put more light on him.
yeah, I think this might be a good opportunity to do that key rim, key fill type thing where the light is coming in from the side like it is now, but then just adding a second key light to like a little bit more frontal on him that's much softer, just to kind of fill in around his eye a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start there and then we'll go from there. Right.
Will that need to follow him as he runs, or just when he's
Just in
standing
that
there?
pose.
'Cause he
Just
moves
in that
pretty
pose.
quick.
Yeah, just in that pose. Just because that's an introductory pose to him, and we want to
Okay.
see him a little stronger. All right.
Okay.
And then yeah. Okay. And then we'll go from there. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. We'll keep going this way, Kevin. All right. So we have 3 iterations. Sorry, I'm so sorry I didn't get to you until I just saw it this morning that I didn't get you before the weekend. I apologize for that.
No, it's okay. I figured it was just a quick little. Oh, I got it in. Let me see if you can.
Yeah. No, this is a nice adjustment. I like this little bit of like extra haze that you've added to everything. Really, really, really helps, especially right down the center here. Their skin tones in this iteration feel good. I like a little bit of magenta on their backs. I want to see a little bit more specularity in his hair, if possible.
I tried,
yeah.
but like, I don't know if it's just how I have the shader set up or how it's just set up in general with the maps.
Yeah.
It's very like, I don't want to say specky because it's specularity, but like it's very like it's like pixelated. Like it's like dots. It's not like a clean.
Oh, I got
kind
it.
of like kind of how hers is.
Yeah.
Like if you kind of zoom in on the back of his hair, you can kind of see there's a speck spot back there, but it's not like.
Yeah.
Even that, there's like a white, like at the very crown of his head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can do it and show it to you just so you can kind of get an idea what I'm trying to say.
No, I think I know because it's something to do with the fur bodies.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. I've seen it before, and I know what you're talking about. The other thing,
right.
The other thing is the far background. Is that in the comp or is that in the render?
That's actually in the render because I had like a flat plane for it,
Yeah.
so I just threw a picture on it.
I would use that in the render, but just turn off the primary visibility or something, and then comp it in, just because it'll give you some more freedom to play around with it. Because again, I think that I love the overall feel of it. I just want those 2 signs to be brighter. I want to be like white, and I think we'll have more control over that in the comp.
Okay.
Anybody else have any thoughts on this? This is looking good. This is something else that's interesting about this shot, and I think it's fine. but it's just like an optical illusion to me. Like I always expect the window to be like right next to them, but the reflections always look so far away to me. I guess that window is further away or something, or like maybe mess with the IOR on the glass or something. That might do it. But like, just see if that changes. I don't think IOR will affect that, but it's just funny. It just feels like the glass is 20 feet behind him.
Yeah, I guess like I've been looking at it for so long, I just kind of like ignore it now.
Yeah. I always tell the story about like I was working on a sequence with a team years ago on Rio 1, and we were lighting it. One of the best, most experienced lighters I know was working on a shot, and we'd all been looking at it for weeks, and we showed it to the director, and the director was like, "Yeah, but like this all looks good, but what about the female lead character?" And we're like, "What is he talking about?" We were like, "She's not in this shot." And he's like, "Yeah, she is. She's like right here." It'd be like if she was just like right here in the shadow, and none of us saw her because we were all so focused on the two of them. Like the lighting supervisor, the lighting lead, 5 lighting artists, none of us saw it. It's like that. Yeah, it's like those optical illusions where it's like you count how many times the basketball gets passed, and really there's like a person in a bear costume walking through the middle of this. I don't know if you guys. This is a YouTube thing. Anyway, it's like that. Like you just totally get focused on things, and you'll completely miss something. So. But yeah, I think this is looking really good. I just want to see the brighter stuff back there, and then I also think the table could probably get a little brighter still, just like a 10-20% brighter. All right, cool. Say hi to Stacy. Stacy is new. She posted this as the first assignment. I think this looks really cool. And the one thing that I pointed out was that like it's obviously the cool over the warm, which is nice. I love this show. The look of it is really, really nice. But one of the things that happens when you make something monochromatic, like the characters, is that it puts so much weight on the subtle value changes, like the brightness of the sweater versus the darkness of the skin versus the color of her jacket. That and then like again, like we've talked about the specularity in the skin and how much that matters in creating shaping. That it's really cool how we're able to get these value shifts across their faces to really kind of emphasize some of the shape of it. It's really cool. It's really pretty, and it's like it's one of those things that's really hard. And I give the cinematographer on this a lot of credit for going for it. That's really cool. Right. Next up we have Alessandro. So this was another submission that I thought was really cool. This is Pio, who I haven't seen in a very long time. This was from Boutique 23. It was a really cool Spanish company that provided characters that I loved, and they unfortunately, as of a couple months ago, I haven't checked in a while, but they kind of went out of business. I think they just like disappeared one day. We had a great relationship with them, and we had discounts for our students, and and then all of a sudden they just like vanished. But like seeing Pio was one of their characters. It was like seeing an old friend. I was like, hey, like, yeah. So I haven't seen him in a while. The scene is structured really nicely. Like I love the window coming in here. I love the light over dark. I like some of this stuff. Compositionally from the camera, I think he's I would push the camera up a little bit because I think that it's too close here and there's too much space here. I love that it's off-centered a little bit. I love that it's kind of reading that way. I just think vertically we're pushed out, or like let's tilt it up a little bit. Sorry, I'm not using the right camera terms. I know there's like real camera terms I should be using, but I'm just not. Because like he's like anytime it's just creating like a little bit of a visual energy when a character gets that close to the top, and we want a little more balance out of it. But that being said, some of the individual elements within the shot are looking really nice. The shader on the refrigerator, the glass bottle looks really good. The cups, the table looks nice. The fruit is getting nice rims. The reflections back here look really good. In terms of some areas of improvement on that stuff, I think you can dingy up the old refrigerator a little bit more. This isn't a brand new model. This is something that's been around since the 60s. So there would be wear and tear on the handles. There would be some elements that would be be kind of scuffed up a little bit. Additionally, like these things that are hanging on the fridge are being hung for a reason. Either they're special, they're kids' drawings, they're test scores, something that somebody's proud of. So let's show that a little bit more by putting a little bit more obvious of something on there. Maybe they're family photos, like, or whatever the thing is that somebody would hang on their fridge. I feel like in here, this is a nice value on his face here. I'm wondering if we couldn't generate more theoretical bounce light from that really bright spot there on his face, just to fill in the shadow side of the face a little bit more. What do you guys think? You guys seen anything else in this? No, I think it's good. I wonder. I was trying to think if there's something else we could put in this area back here, because it kind of goes a little dead there. Like there's a lot of stuff over here, a lot of stuff over here, then right in the middle. But I don't think so, unless we put another bowl or glass or something there on the table. But I don't think that's necessary. I don't know. You might have another. If you have another prop you want to put in, I would put it right there. I'd put it on the table right in here to kind of cover this corner up. But yeah, this looks really great. Antonio, this was your reference. And then, okay, we have Danny and Holly. Danny, hi, buddy. Thank you for your patience. Three renders here from you. So let's start with the daytime one. I don't really have a lot on this one. What are you guys thinking? I think it's looking nice. I only wonder if we could. I was gonna say specularity on the bricks themselves on the walls a little bit, like in here, but I don't know. I don't think I feel like in my head like there would be some moisture in there, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. But I think this one looks good. Yeah, I'm not gonna clap yet because I want to clap for these together. But I think this is looking good for now. This one's looking good too. I think the light coming through here is a little bit on the green side. I would pull back the greens a little bit and make it a little bit more blue. Fireplace looks a lot better. The vases on top are getting a little bit overly lit. They almost look like they're in the daytime scene. I think they're just, yeah, I think the candles wouldn't be contributing that much to them.
Do the candles on the chandelier look weird?
They look magenta, you're right. I hadn't seen those yet. Like this one looks a little bit green. These look a little magenta. These feel pretty perfect to me. So if use these as your guiding point.
Yeah.
And then I would do, just because the fireplace is so bright, I would do a little bit more blurring glow on that too. Just like that. Oh, that's too much blur. Let me see. But just like a little bit more blur overall on it, just because it's not blur, but just like a little bit. Like if you have it in Nuke, just add a little bit of a glow on top.
Yeah.
Just to, because it's again so bright in such a dark room. But I think that's it. Do you guys have anything else? Anything else you're seeing?
Is there anything outside the window? Because it just looks pitch black.
Nothing there.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe put even just like a night scene photograph out there or something, just to give it like a little bit, maybe. That's a good call. All right, cool. And then for the robot, character's looking good. She's looking a little bit on the magenta side on up here. Up here in terms of like, because it might be, yeah, it would end up, in reality it would probably be a little blue because of that light, but I would say just neutralize it into her skin tone would probably be the best looking thing. This is the best the eyes have looked, I think. I think that down here might be getting a little bit bright, but I like where you're going. I would also take down, there's like the noise or the bump on there. I would just take that down maybe like 30%. And then similar to what I just said about the fire, and this would be more like overall, but because of the brightness of that book, I do think it would create kind of a glowier scene overall. And I think that would be a little bit of a little something like this, just to kind of soften it overall. Yeah. I would take down the saturation on her coffee cup. That's kind of a common theme with this scene. Yeah. Do you guys have any other thoughts for now? Yeah. Moving along well. You're doing really good. All right, great.
Thank you.
And last one, Holly. Sorry, I almost forgot you. Let's see. Much better with the haze. Some things. It feels like his shadow is missing on the seat. I would look into that. Super minor. We can deal with this later, but just watch out. For some reason, her eye ding on this side feels very cyan versus that one, which is white. I think on her skin tones, I wonder if there's a little bit too much red on there. Back just a touch. Just pulling a little red out of there. And then, yeah. Again, I always get drawn to the irises in this shot. Just like the fact that they're so pure, just creating some variation in there would be good. Or getting, like, if you can get an iris map on there, I think that would make a massive difference on the shot. Or maybe just making them smaller, or the pupils bigger, or something. It's just like the fact that they're very thick and very flat, and they're very saturated in their color makes the eyes a little distracting for the rest of it. But I think the rest of the shaping and everything else is looking well. I would make the seatbelt color a little bit closer to the rearview mirror. And just lift that a little bit more, especially this one back here. But, either way, make them all match. And then, if you want, you could even get a little bit of light coming out of this kid's console. And just, like, create a little light. Especially, like, not much. It would just be more for when he gets close to it. All right. Anybody else got any thoughts on this one before we move on?
I have a question, Mike.
Shoot. Yeah.
The kid in the back, should his screen right side of the face be brighter and that way matches the mother's light? Or is it because he's farther away from the window? It's
more window location when you're in a car, which is strange, but it's true when you look at reference. Like, whatever window you're closer to, you get, it's almost like that is your key light, because the sunlight ends up kind of surrounding you and engulfing you, and then, yeah. So I think that actually looks pretty okay. Like, he's closer to the middle, so maybe you could get a little play with it. Yeah. But I think that's probably right, because like hers is coming from that side too, which again totally breaks all the other normal rules of lighting. But you follow the reference. Yeah. All right. Cool, guys. Well, successful Monday, I think. If you guys have questions, let me know. Keep posting, and I will send over that. I'll look for it right now. That peanuts shot, and I'll post it to to the critique channel or the work in progress channel.
Thanks.
All right, guys.
I appreciate it.
No problem. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks.
All right, peace out.
Night.
Bye.
Talk to you later.